body. I hope you're doing well. This video is going to be on our foam rollers. So I have a full-length foam roller, and that's what most of this workout is designed to be on. So if you have a shorter one, the first little section is probably not doable, but you can do it all on the floor. And if you have a short one, the rest of the video will be just fine on that short foam roller. So just to get started, we are going to have our foam roller long ways on our mat, and we are going to be laying down on top of it. So we have fun stability stuff. Be ready to laugh at yourself. So you want your tailbone towards the end so that you have enough room for your head. I have like a little funny unstable part on this floor, so I get to wobble around a lot. So while you're here, just take a moment, roll those shoulder blades back, opening up your chest, taking a few great big breaths. Feel a little bit of space in between your lower back and the foam roller, just in that nice neutral spine. Maybe feel what it feels like to have your feet hip distance apart, and then maybe what it feels like to have them a little closer together. It's a little less stable. And then when we're ready, we're actually going to start with some arm circles. So if you can, both arms. If you're not feeling stable enough, just do one arm at a time. You're going to bring those arms all the way up over your head. Don't lose your abs though. Keep that neutral spine. Open them all the way up out to the outside. Feel that big pec stretch. And then again, inhaling them all the way up and over. Nice and stable. Exhale as you circle them down and around. We're going to do one more in this direction. Feels so good. And then we're going to reverse it. So you're going to bring those arms back down, out to the outside, and then all the way up and over. And you know what? This side might feel more stable. It might feel less stable. It might feel exactly the same. Either way, it's a really good stretch and a really nice little warm up. We're going to do one last one here, all the way on up and all the way back on down. Plant those hands down and those forearms down. Make sure that chest is nice and open. And we're going to lift one leg on up and then tapping the toe back on down and then lifting it back up again. Again, you're trying to keep your hips and your abs nice and stable. Your spine should stay in that neutral position. Moving, maybe swaying a little bit, but trying to stay in the center as much as you can. Last one there, you're going to place that foot down, and then we're going to do the other side. So try not to let yourself shift all the way over onto that opposite leg, lifting the leg on up. Exhale, place it back on down. You'll figure out pretty quick which one's your stable leg and which one's your not so stable leg. We're going to do two more like this. Inhaling all the way on up. Exhale all the way back on down. Last one here. Placing that foot down about hip distance apart from the other. And then we're going to take that first leg up and the opposite arm. So I've got my left leg up and my right arm up. And then we're basically going to be doing bird dog, but upside down. And we're going to reach arms and legs away. Big stretch. Maybe a smaller stretch if you're unstable. Bending back on in. And then again, inhaling as you reach away. Try to stay in the middle of that foam roller. Bending back on in. Try to keep that nice neutral spine. You're not arching anymore. And do one last one on this leg. Coming all the way back on in, you place that hand down, that foot down, and then we got to do the other side. So, other leg up, other arm up, and then we're going to go. You're going to inhale, reaching it away. Exhale, pull it all the way back on in. Feel the body stabilize. Feel those abs engage. And you know what? If you've fallen off, laugh. Enjoy it. It's funny. This is not easy stuff. You have to stay totally mentally engaged. You know what? It's really hard for me to look over at the camera, so I hope you don't feel like you're being ignored. We got this last one here. all the way back on in. Nice. Place that foot down, place the hand down, and then we're going to do expanding tabletop. So we're going to bring both legs on up into tabletop. Expanding tabletops, one leg's going to straighten, the other leg's going to press on out. You come back into tabletop to switch. Straightening and extending one knee, pressing the other leg on out. Really try to stabilize through those arms. You're pushing equally with both forearms, so you're staying in the middle. Use that breath. Inhaling to extend, exhaling to pull back on in. We got one last one. Nice, coming all the way back on in. Place those feet down, again about hip distance apart, unless you want the extra challenge, in which case have them closer together. And then we're going to take both hands on and off again. You're going to nod your chin towards your chest. You're going to curl yourself on up as high as you can go. Exhale as you curl yourself back on down. If this feels like too much for your head or neck, bring your hands behind your head and try a couple here. Like we would do a head float on the floor. But reaching through those fingers. Exhale, come all the way back on down. We're going to do one last one like this. And then we're going to pause probably like maybe halfway up what I was going, maybe until your shoulder blades are just touching. And then we're going to go into our 100. So when you're ready, you're curling on up, and then you're going to start pumping for your 100 here. Inhaling for 1 breath or 5 pumps, exhaling for 5 pumps. If you'd like, you can add in a little extra something by extending one leg out. Try to balance on that one leg, pulling it back on in. Try to balance on the other leg. Ooh, back on in. Alternating there, or you can stay here. If it's starting to feel like too much for your head or neck, bring a hand behind your head or rest your head down entirely. We got 2 more big breaths. Nice, coming all the way back on down. While we're here, we're just going to open those arms up wide to the outside. Some people call it cactus arms, so basically like you're making a big W. So think about trying to place the elbows down on the floor, and then just bring the back of your hands towards the floor too, opening up in your chest. Opening up in those pecs and having one last little opening moment. You're going to have one more big exhale. And then we're just going to carefully slide off our foam rollers. There we go. So, we're going to take that foam roller. You're going to kind of put it underneath your knees right now. Shoulder bridge yourself on up to bring it underneath your hips. You want to make sure that you are on your hip bones. You're not on your lower back. So then you have lots of bone stability and bone structure there to help hold you up. And then I like holding onto my foam roller, but some people feel like they don't need to. They can have their arms out wide to the outside. We're going to bring our legs up to about 90. Make whatever adjustments you need to make. And then we're going to go into our scissors. So we're going to send one leg long and then kick up to switch. And it's really about the leg that's going and reaching away from you, not the one that's coming overhead. So really reach through that foot. This one's just here to counterbalance, so you don't go falling over the foam roller. So really squeeze that glute, look for that hip extension. And then we're going to take this and we're going to change it into some bicycle kicks. So when you come down into that full scissor, you're going to let your knee bend, dragging that toe along the floor if you can. Nice. See how big of a bicycle you can ride. And then just for fun, we're going to reverse that. So bending in, kicking up, pushing that toe down along the mat for as long as you possibly can. Ooh. There we go. I'm going to do this last one here, and then coming all the way back on in, and then we're going to do our single leg stretch and our double leg, or just our single leg stretch rather. So if you like pulling on with both hands, you can. If not, you can hold onto your foam roller with one hand, the knee with the other, and then what I want you to do is look for hip extension here. So really try to squeeze that straight leg down towards the floor. Maybe it gets there, maybe you have to bend your knee just a teeny bit, but look to try and stretch in here. And then you're going to bring it all the way back on in, switching legs, really squeezing that hip down. Here you'll notice which of one of my hips is a little looser, and then coming back on in, really squeezing that hip down. Look for that big extension. Use your glutes to really pull that leg down, and then back on in. Feels so good. And then you're going to hug both those legs on in, or you can place your feet down on the mat. You're going to slide that foam roller out from underneath you. It's going to come underneath your feet. I'm going to move up my mat a little bit so I don't fall off. And we're going to do our shoulder bridges up here. So feet are on that foam roller. Make sure that you've got that bird on perch feeling. So you're wrapping your feet over top, you're wrapping your heels around it, and you're really lifting up through those arches like you're trying to almost pick up that foam roller. And then when you're ready, you're going to curl through your hips. You're going to lift those shoulder blades up off the mat as much as you possibly can. Curl yourself all the way back on down with control, trying to keep that foam roller nice and steady, those feet nice and active. Lifting up, squeezing those glutes at the top, coming all the way back on down. And just notice, maybe you have a couple little wobbles in here. Maybe you like to go down on your right side a little quicker, maybe your left side a little quicker. It's all good information for all of your great workouts to come. We're going to do two more here, lifting all the way on up and all the way back on down. Nice. You're going to extend those legs on out, flex through your feet, so that foam roller should be underneath your calves. Your arms are going to come out and extend up towards the ceiling, and we are going to try and roll up from here. I wish you good luck. Take a great big inhale as you nod your chin towards your chest. Find that hard part. Exhale through it, reaching forward. Try to reach for those toes, for those heels, for those for your knees, whatever you gotta reach for. And then again, we're gonna come back on down. You only go as low as you can keep in control. So if you feel like you're gonna start losing it, or those feet are gonna lift up off of the foam roller, that's where you stop and come back on up. Again, taking a great big inhale to prepare. Exhale through the hardest part. Have a big forward bend here. And then restacking your spine. Inhaling for that first part, find that sticky spot. Exhale to get a little deeper. Gonna do one last one here. Come all the way on up, all the way forward. And restacking your spine. Nice. Okay, so then we're going to lay down on our stomach. Our arms are going to be on the foam roller for our swans and our lower extensions. Okay. So I want your elbows to be on the closer side of the foam roller. So you're never rolling over top of any joints. Your palms would be facing towards each other. And what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze those legs together, unless that feels like too much pressure for your hips or low back. You're going to press your hip bones in so much that you feel your glutes squeeze. It's okay if your legs lift off of the floor a little bit. And then when you're ready, you're going to pull that foam roller towards you with your shoulders, and then just release it. And then pulling, and then releasing. Really get that mobility and the shoulders working for you. Just doing some puppet arms here. And then on the next one, we're going to pull it towards us, and we're going to push down through that foam roller and keep rolling it closer and closer to us to extend us up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, place yourself back down. Again, pull with the shoulders to start, lift your head and chest, squeeze those abs backwards. Exhale to lower. We're going to do one last one like this, lifting yourself up as high as you possibly can, all the way back on down, relaxing yourself down here. Nice. So we're going to find a spot that you feel like you can hold it. So maybe not quite right at the top, but maybe something a little upright. You're going to lift those legs up as high as you possibly can, and then you're going to kick once, twice, and switch. Single leg kick. Inhaling for one, exhaling for one. And really try to maintain that movement just through your legs. You're not trying to let the foam roller bounce with your leg kicks. Try to keep it as steady as possible. Nice. And then you can relax those legs down. We're going to squeeze them together if you can. You're going to bend them in, and then when you're ready, you're going to lift those knees up as high as you possibly can by squeezing your glutes and pushing your hip bones down. And then as you extend the legs long behind you, you're going to swan yourself up as high as you possibly can. Exhale, lower yourself on down, bending those knees on in. And then again, inhaling, extend, exhaling, relax and release. One last one. All the way on down. Nice. Relax those arms down. Relax those legs down. If you need to, shake them off. And then I want you to bring that foam roller way enough from you that you're now more towards your wrists. Palms will be facing down now, so make sure you're still on your forearms. And we're going to do a modified version of swimming here, mostly focused on a little bit of extra shoulder extension. So lifting those legs up as high as you can, and then you're going to lift one arm, one leg, place it back down. Lift and lower. And just see how high up you can get those arms, as you're already starting in that extension, so you're already starting in a place of work. We're going to do one last one. Nice, and then you can carefully release here, press yourself back, have a quick child's pose. If you want, you can grab hold behind your feet there and really puff your spine up. Awesome, and then we're going to go into some planks. Everyone's favorites, right? So we are going to plank with our foam roller. Our foam roller is actually going to go on our shins, just below our knees. So if you want to, you can get set up there. And then we're going to do a forearm plank. So you can come down onto those forearms. You can straighten those legs on out, get yourself all set up, about hip distance apart, or if you want the extra challenge, they can be together. And just have a couple breaths here. Think a happy thought. Being like, you know what? We're almost through this. We're almost there. And then what I want you to do, bend those knees, dive your head, look towards those, look between your legs, and then come back down into your plank. We're piking and tucking up, and then plank. Use that exhale to curl those abs up. Inhaling back long. Exhaling. Inhale back long. We got 2 more. Come long. Bend those knees. Again, one last little child's pose here. Big breath. And then we're going to sit down. That foam roller is going to be about midway up our back. You want rib and spine structure to be there. So don't go so low that you feel like you're just on your spine. And we're just going to do a couple extensions. So you're going to have those hands behind your head, supporting your head and neck. And then all we're going to do is we're going to back bend over it. Go slow. Breathe deep. If ever there's a spot where you feel like all of a sudden you can't breathe or it's really hard or strained to breathe, your diaphragm is stretching. It is okay. Just come back up, go slow again, and just try to let it release and let it stretch and let it do what it needs to do. Nice. We're going to do one more in this position here, and then we're going to change up. Coming all the way on up. You're going to lift your hips up just a little bit. Slide your hips down towards your heels so you're maybe an inch more up your back. So we're kind of in between our shoulder blades here. Always using those abs to help pull yourself up, not just pulling on your head and neck. One last one. All the way on up. And then you're just going to carefully give yourself a quick roll. It feels so good, lifting up those hips. Again, you only go where you have that bone structure. And then you're going to place those hips on down. You can come on up to sitting. Have a good old roll back. Maybe tip your head to one side. And then the other side. And then I just hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope this felt as great as I felt like it did. And yes, keep staying safe, stay inside, keep doing these videos because they're so good for you. And I hope you're ready for even more great stuff to come. So